Well, we are in the midst of the back-to-school buying blitz. That helps companies like Newell Brands, the household goods maker, making some changes behind the scenes to better meet demand, shifting distribution centers to the east and streamlining invoices to retailers. Will it be enough to keep the green coming in as clouds gather on the markets and economic horizon? Joining us now with more is Ravi, who is Newell Brands CEO. He's here with us in the studio, which is always very exciting for us, especially in this day and age. You guys make Sharpies, too, which I didn't know until I was doing some research for this segment. So before we get to the behind-the-scenes changes you've been making, just talk me through demand and what you guys are seeing as we head into we really are in back-to-school season already, right? People are already buying lots of supplies.
Yeah, Julie, thank you for having me. And this is week 6 of back-to-school. And this year, again, as schools have all reopened, it's off to a very good start. The first 3-4 weeks were actually quite buoyant. It slowed down a little, and NPD is expecting that it may actually be a longer back to school. But it's up mid-single digits versus last year, and of course we're up too, so we're happy about that. We've got a lot of great products. We've got the Sharpie S Note Duo, which is for note-taking, and that's a big trend with consumers. So the writing business is definitely, for us, a bright spot. And given that's our most profitable business, that's going well. Our commercial business, as offices have reopened, that's going really well. In second quarter, it was up 10.7%. So that side is going well. But there are clouds because demand is softening in many other categories. Last year, our candle business, Yankee Candle, did extremely well as people burnt a lot of candles to reduce stress during the pandemic. That's slowing down now. We've also lost a chunk of lower-income consumers who came in due to the whole stimulus package. So we've lost some of that. So demand softening, retailer inventories, as they're cutting back, that's what's on our mind. But the great bright spots are our writing business and our commercial business.
Well, we'll talk about the economic stuff more in a second. But that's a Sharpie pen.
Yeah.
That is to me. I've never seen a Sharpie pen like that. But I think it looks like you're reinvesting in the brand. I mean, I thought the tablet was going to kill the pen. I mean, we've been hearing that for years now.
Yeah, that's a great question. This is the Sharpie S Gel, one of my favorite products in our company. And Sharpie has been always known for permanent markers and really all about creative expression. But the brand has so much equity. So we launched this 2 years ago. And in 2 years, it's become a $50 million brand and with great gross margins. And people absolutely love it. It's been taking share away from our competitors, and it's becoming a leading brand. And people absolutely love it in terms of the way it flows. So you should try it. I know you're
I feel bad. I won't tell you what pen is this. We'll take it off.
Well, but to your point, it's kind of interesting. Like, you would have thought that pens would go extinct, right? And they're clearly, from what you're saying, they're not.
Oh, no. It's growing, gel pens in particular. The reason is there is this misconception that technology is just taking over and people don't want to write. Everything indicates, even the youngest consumers, this is the form of creative expression, and this is what aids literacy and learning. And so we think that this business is thriving. Now, as you get into hybrid environments, that's why we're also investing in technology now to look at the whole, is there a digital pen out there for us? There are obviously things like Apple has for its iPad and stuff, but those are very expensive. How do you digitize this?
This one erases too.
Yeah,
it's my tablet. It's just wild.
Indeed. So we've got an offering that's coming out even with our pens that has that, and things which are environmentally friendly, etc. But I think there's a whole misconception, and this is for us one of the most exciting categories. That's why we're investing in it. And it's this thing that I talked about, note-taking, creative note-taking, that college students are doing. And they're doing it with colors and creating expression for taking notes. Yeah. So rather than just with the ordinary pen, so we've got a lot of colors. And this is where our Papermate with its flair, that's another great brand for us. And so I think this whole idea of learning, of activity for little kids, I think writing instruments are a big piece of it. And our Elmer's glue, for instance, we're now launching later in the year something called squishies, which are all about sculpting. And for little kids, with the glue, we've had other things in the past with slime that became a big hit. Now we're following it up with squishies.
How are you managing, even with all of the products that you have under the brands, how are you managing inventory differently than some of the competitors that are out there right now? Because, as we were talking about earlier, it might be a little bit different for you in being able to pack away things and then reintroduce them or just reship some of that inventory once the season kind of rotates or that cyclicality turns over as well.
Yeah, I think, Brad, obviously inventory is an issue for everyone today. For us, like with our writing business, Sharpie is actually made in America, and we get some of the components and chemicals and stuff that we source from overseas, but we actually manufacture it in Tennessee. And so that has helped us with really understanding demand and supply. So the writing business has been good. In fact, we're having some supply constraints still. We could sell more if we could make more. So on the writing business, the same with our commercial business. In some of our sourced businesses, like appliances, for instance, where we source from China or outdoor business, a lot of this, because of all the supply, ocean freight issues that we experienced last year and earlier this year, that has been difficult because things have been on ships and they've come, we had expected demand, and when demand's fallen off, that obviously gets to a higher inventory levels. What we've focused on is a lot of our top A and B SKUs and saying, hey, let's focus in on really the SKUs that have high velocity. And we also embarked on a huge SKU reduction in the last 3 years. You know, when I joined the company, we had about 110,000 SKUs, which is astronomical. Wow. We've cut it down now to about 35,000 SKUs. So that's been tremendous. So that helps because of the velocity issues. But there's no question, inventory for us with some seasonal jumps has been an issue. We're working very hard to try and deplete that as the year goes forward. It's a bigger issue on seasonal businesses, as you pointed out, Brad.
Well, Ravi, from that video, we could certainly see a lot of brands that touch many of us and many of our viewers in their daily lives. So thanks for being here today. Really
my pleasure and honor.
These different brands.
So I know you can't take it, but can you at least try it?
I will try it. I'll try it.
All right, Ravi,
you can always give it away to someone.
I need some paper to write on.
Yeah,
all right, Ravi Saligram, Newell Brands CEO.
Thank you
we got to tee it up for J-Pal in a few minutes. Thanks for being here, Ravi. Good to see you.